3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today to our Keeping It Real with the Southern Belle of the ATL. We're having a realtor to realtor chat with my friend, also one of my real estate colleagues, Kelli Adams. And so we're going to give you guys an opportunity to kind of log on and log in. At the end, we are going to have a Q&A, so reserve your questions for the end so that way we can get to all of them. We're going to try to, get this in and done within an hour. What's up, Instagram? I know you can't see Kelli, but you can see me, but you also will be able to hear her. So if you have any questions, feel free to chime in, but we're going to give everybody about a minute to kind of get on, get logged in, so that we can get this thing started. Cool. Yes, girl. This rain. Oh my goodness.
I wasn't prepared for it.
I wasn't either. And I normally go walking in the evening, so it's been kind of messing up my walks. But I said I might have to get on my beach body thing just as a indoor something to do.
You gotta have a backup.
Because my go-to is like, let me hit these miles so that we can stay fit. It's hard going into that big, I don't say the number, but it's like you're not 20 anymore, so you got to get it together. You got to get it together. Yeah, so I'm like, whew. Some days I wake up, I'm like, oh, my knee is stiff. Oh, Lord.
We be over here wrapping our knees, icy hot.
Yes. I have a brace. Yeah, I have a brace that I have to put on every now and then. Even on my wrist and stuff sometimes, like doing, girls. So doing hair. Ooh, say thank you, Kelli. I got 2. Some boys are so easy. I miss the days where I could just haircut, pair of sneakers, top and the bottom, and out the door.
Out the door. Some my go-to for them, especially this time of year, is those basketball shorts, a t-shirt.
Yes.
We out.
That's it. And we're out.
Yep.
Hey, Mercedes. Mercedes saying, hey, ladies.
Hey, no, sir. He down here with this big dump truck that's clicking. Upstairs.
That's our life now, and that's what we are here to talk about. Just how we're balancing. Mercedes said hello.
Hey, Sadie.
Oh, she's online.
Hey, friend.
And I think we'll go ahead and get started. So that way, we got a lot of questions and stuff that we're kind of diving into as we are. As we are answering our questions about just the real estate business and just how do we do what we do? This is basically an open conversation for those who are watching. This is basically an open conversation of just, realtor to realtor in the industry and how we navigate it, not only as professionals, but some of us are mothers, some of us are wives, some of us, we have family, we're sisters, brothers, daughters, but this is just, an opportunity to kind of just, clear the air. I do, and Kelli, I'll let you tell everyone how you've been. I've been in the business myself for 12 years, and so I've seen the culture kind of shifting and changing. And one of the things that I can appreciate about Kelli is just, her demeanor, her culture, and just the way that she conducts herself in the business. And so that's something that, I can appreciate as another realtor. Hey, Marion Grace, thank you so much for tuning in. I can appreciate that. So Kelli, I guess you can tell everyone a little bit about you and how long you've been in the business.
Sure. So, just for starters, for people who may be on your timeline that don't know me, but my name is Kelli Adams. Trish and I went to high school together. We graduated. I ain't gonna say what year, but we graduated from Mays together.
Yeah.
Hi. But yeah, so I am a realtor. I have been a realtor for, this is actually my second full year. Um,
Awesome.
yeah. So I signed on, I got my license in 2018. I signed on at the end of 18 with Weichert. And I began training and doing kind of like vaccine things before I
Mm-hmm.
took a full launch. And so I didn't launch technically until January 2019. So
Okay.
last
What
year was
made
my,
you
my
choose?
first full year,
Uh-huh.
and
What
then
made
this
you
year is
choose
my
your
second.
broker?
Um, I went through a lot. I actually reached out to you. I don't know if you remember, like
Yeah,
early
I
in
remember.
2018, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just really just vetting a lot of brokerage companies, and
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed. I got a lot of information, and I chose Weichert because of the culture, for one, the location
Okay.
of the office, and then the broker that is there is just phenomenal. She, Stephanie Kennedy, she is down to earth. She's touchable. You know, I can text her, I can call her,
Mm-hmm.
I can reach out to her. Not only her, but then her, just the staff. It's just amazing. But the technology that
Mm-hmm.
they offer, the training, the support, I loved. So I was pretty much sold when I went, but you know, you can't let them know that you sold when you went. So I was just like, okay, well, we'll see. But you know, it ended up being where I call home, and I can honestly see myself there for a while, as long as they'll
That
have me.
that is awesome. I think I've spoken with Stephanie.
Yeah,
Not recently, but I think I have spoken with her before. And I remember faces, not more so names, but
same.
I remember her name because she was very pleasant to speak with.
Yeah,
And that goes a long way in the industry. Like I said, I've been in the industry for 12 years. And I started off as with Better Homes and Garden Metro Brokers. So I started off with them first. And they raised me up in real estate. You know, I always tell people my mentor was the incomparable Ennis Antoine, who I still, speak with every now and then because, they really taught me how to be a realtor. And from that point, I really was with small brokerage firms. From there, I did go to Solid Source for probably about 6 months, but I realized that what I needed, I guess they weren't providing. Like
yeah,
they're more like transaction. So kind of that, interaction that I desired, it wasn't really there. And so I had been looking at Keller Williams, for a while. And I just kind of did my research. I did my research on location and all of that. And so basically when I, made my decision to go over with Keller Williams, I've actually been there now. This is my third year actually being with them. And I
okay,
have noticed a drastic change, in my business. And I'm grateful for that because, the interaction, the technology, the integration, and then I'm in a class now called Bold Pivot. And so that definitely, pushes you to, raise the standard of your business. And so that's why, I chose them. And I tell people, when we came out of high school, I would have never thought I would be a realtor. It really started by chance. I was trying to buy a house and, I was asking the lady, I'm always full of questions.
yeah,
And so I was asking her a lot and she didn't know. And so I found myself like Googling terms and all of that. And y'all know how Google is. You start Googling stuff and then stuff start popping up. So guess what popped up? Go to real estate school. So I was like, huh, what? And so I was hit Metro Brokers and I just looked and I read through it and this is thing that I could do. Now, mind you, I was in corporate America. I used to work for a state government agency. And if you know, like I know, yeah, I love working and being a realtor because, even though I paid my dues, I definitely paid my dues. I am grateful that I'm to be in business for my clients, hands down.
yeah,
Started off with education and was kind of like, I do career days and all of that and tell everybody you can be somebody, you can be an entrepreneur, but it takes discipline, it takes hard work because everybody think, being a boss, oh, I can wake up when I want to, I can go here, I can spend this. You have to be so disciplined when you are an entrepreneur.
And guess
So
what? You can do those things, but you won't be successful.
that's right. You will not be successful. Your business will be high and dry. And if you don't have, the basic business practices, just of, getting up, that people think that, like we sleep. Like a lot of times 4 a.m., because I start having ideas and thoughts are running through my head by 5:30. I have to have
Girl,
time of meditation, so I can, get centered and pray, so that,
I'm
I'm
there.
good
I am
for the
there.
day. I
Yes,
have to start my day like that. So I don't jump up at 9 o'clock when I'm answering phone calls. Like I've
you
done
can't.
so much
You can't.
before 9 a.m., it's ridiculous. And so, I just, I hear the school children always talking about, I want to be a boss. I want to be a boss. It's like, do you have what it takes to be a boss though? Like if you don't even have the discipline to just do your schoolwork,
Yeah.
how are you going to be anybody's boss? And being
Okay.
an entrepreneur is harder. It's probably the hardest job I've ever had, but it's the most fulfilling because I know that too. I'm walking in my purpose because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because everybody want to be a boss. Now, what are some things that you wish that you knew that nobody told you as a new agent? What are some things that you're just like, man, I wish they would have told me that?
Um, I'm thinking that if I think that I could have been better prepared to know to run, like you think of being a real estate agent as another job. And it's really like
Mm,
running a business, really, because
yeah.
it's your little mini business. So I think that really going into it with a mindset of understanding that you are not clocking 8 to 5, 9 to 5. You're
Mm-mm.
not, you can't order material from your assistant at the front desk that handle all the supplies for the front. You
Yeah,
can't order marketing material. I mean, you can, but you gonna pay for it. So
that's
you the
right.
boss. You gotta, so I think just understanding that as an independent contractor is totally different working as a W-2 employee. So as an independent contractor, be prepared if you are considering real estate to know that this is your little mini business.
Mm-hmm.
You're responsible for marketing, you're responsible for training, you're
That's
responsible
right.
for all of the association fees that you have to be associated with in order for you to be a realtor, because everybody that's a real estate agent is not a realtor.
Come on with it.
So
And she's saying that for a reason. We have realtors and we have real estate agents. Let's talk about the difference. So when you are a realtor, that means that you are a member of a board. So that's similar, like you have a doctor, they're a member of a board. If you have a dentist, they're a member of a board. So with real estate, you can either, depending on your broker, you can be a member of a board or you can just be an agent. But when you're a member of a board, it gives you that edge with ethics, with making
yes,
sure that you're running your business ethical. And then it's like you get training and all of that stuff, but it's also like an umbrella for you that you're under, and they hold
covering.
you to a higher standard. And my
Yes,
thing is, if I'm gonna run a business, I'm gonna run it to a high standard, and that's not because they are making me. Because see, when you're a member of a board, you pay for it. That's the business expense.
absolutely.
So that's me investing in my business so that I'm better for my clients.
That's it.
And like Kelly was saying, when you work a job, it's like, well, I can go to my assistant and I can order my marketing materials, or I can go. No, you are your assistant until you make the money to be able to pay your assistant a salary. Because guess what? I have to get on Staples, Office Depot. I have to get in Vistaprint, and let's talk about even
Canva,
design. Go ahead, Kelly.
Canva, you name it.
Canva too.
You the marketing person. You the marketing specialist. You
That's
do it all.
right. You the it when it's your own mini business, you the marketing coordinator, you the assistant, you answer the phones, you send you do everything until your business reaches a point where you can financially say, okay, I do need assistance.
Yeah.
So let me start putting funds aside because the difference with Keller Williams for me, out of all the brokerages that I've been with, Keller Williams taught me how to make real estate my business.
Yeah.
Like before, I was just an independent contractor. I just did real estate. But now this is my business. So this is my, I mean, from my expenses to my profit and loss, like they taught me that side of it. And that also made me take my business more seriously.
Yeah.
So even
And let me tell you,
Mhm.
I've watched you. I've been friends with you on, Facebook
Mhm.
since
Mhm.
the Better Homes days.
Yeah.
And I remember that. It was Metro
Mhm.
Brokers like then, right?
Yeah, it was
And
Metro
I
Broker.
remember just watching you, and then I can see your growth. Like every time I see you,
Thank
I'm just
you.
like, I can honestly see it. I think you're doing amazing. So
Thank
keep that up.
you.
But I can truly see it, and I can truly see your business just growing, and just not just from production, from a production
Mhm.
standpoint, but just the seriousness that you're taking it as well. So I can,
Absolutely.
it exudes.
Thank
So just
you
know
so
that.
much for that. I appreciate
You're
it. And
welcome.
that's because when people see you, and that's one thing we talk about online presence, that's the first place they're going to look for you. That's
Yeah.
the first place they want to see your pictures. They want to see what you're closing. They want to see the type of houses that, and the type of
Selling.
people that you're dealing with. And the one thing that I have interns. I try every summer to, at least bring one person on to, just kind of give them the feel if this, because people will send me inboxes and say, well, hey, Trish, I'm interested in the real estate business, especially young people, because you don't have to go to college for it, but you do have to be disciplined. And I always recommend they at least do like 2-year business,
Yeah.
get a business associate so that they understand how to run a business, because I learned that part really on the back end. And
Yeah.
so I tell them about, online presence, and just like, one young lady, she emailed me and she was saying this and she was saying that. First of all, I also know that I have a brand. And so one of my brands is being professional.
Yeah.
And so I looked at her Instagram page and I was like, take a look at my page and take a look at yours.
Yeah.
And tell me the difference, And I really, made her do some homework to educate her. Number one, what you put online never goes away. Number two, what you put online, that is how people will perceive you. And then please understand that if I connect you to my business, I'm connecting you to my brand. And
Yes.
so, with that being said, it's just so important and it's vital, even when you're putting out, marketing materials. Some days, like I may have an idea and it'll literally just arrest me for the whole day, but it
Yeah.
may be my marketing material for a whole week. One thing that I'm working on is consistency, because I'm a person of ideas. And so sometimes I don't always have them.
Yeah.
But when I do, I try to capitalize over them. So, I'm grateful for that. And just knowing that even my investment with having Keller Williams as my broker, is, a wise investment, because as a business owner, you have to make sure, I'm making a wise investment, even down to your brokerage firm. You have to make sure that, they're investing in you, and, hey, you're getting what you're paying for, because
Yeah. They need to know your worth.
yes, and that's another thing when we talk about expenses. I have a office fee that we pay every month.
Yes.
And that's and like I'm not always physically there. I have access to it, but I get my mail there. My business is there.
Yeah.
So these are the things that I guess getting into the business, I wish I would have known from ground zero. I wish, that I would have, started it off that way. But, experience is a teacher. I did learn how to be a realtor. Like what I sent you last night about putting people in your car or showing them homes and they haven't been pre-approved. I did a lot of that,
Yeah.
and it taught me what to do and what not
Not
to
to do.
do.
Mhm.
And sometimes people think as realtors, we're being funny when we say things like, if you haven't been pre-approved, then I can't take you to see a house. Okay. And so then they'll say some other agents will do it.
Mhm.
And, this is another thing when I say about culture across the board. We know that a person cannot put an offer on a house without the offer and the pre-approval letter. So
Yes.
that to me is like taking you to your favorite restaurant, showing you your favorite meal and then saying you
I
can't
can't
have it.
afford it. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah.
that's like getting up to go to Chick-fil-A on Sunday, knowing
No,
you
you can't
can't
have it.
have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like help us help you, because you know the houses are going so fast out here. The inventory is a little low. If you're watching and you're a seller and you've been thinking about putting your home on the market, you can call me or Kelly. Because when I tell you it is so many buyers who are looking for homes, like they are really looking, for homes, and the inventory is a little low. So if you've been thinking, well, I don't know, due to COVID-19, my house may not, the buyers are ready. I
When
have,
I tell you this has been insane.
yes, it's been crazy. I got a cash buyer right now who can't find anything. I'm like, can somebody please put their house on the market?
When
I
I
want a
tell
cash
you,
buyer. Come on, sellers. You know what I'm saying?
when I tell you that these houses go so quick.
Yes. And multiple offers.
You don't even have to have a full. You don't even have to have but one picture of the house and a description and a location, and you're getting phone calls,
Gone. Yep.
and you're gonna have that house being seen the same day. It is
That's
insane.
right.
It's
That's
insane.
right.
It is insane. So I always tell people, if you're on the fence, get off
Get
now.
off of the fence.
Get
I
off.
tell myself when they call me, oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, by the time you think about it, your house could have sold,
Absolutely.
because we have so many buyers, like it's flooded with
It
people
is.
who they are ready to buy. So what does a normal day look like for you
Um,
as
normal
mom,
days,
wife, realtor, daughter?
girl. So I actually have a full time job,
Okay.
and I have a full time business.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you, I typically try to get up before the boys. Like today, I'm up at five o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Working out at 5:30. Have my devotional time. Like I have to have it because I have gone days without it, and it has been unproductive or
Mm-hmm.
just a frustrating day. And I
Yeah.
actually learned to have that time, even if it's 30 minutes, it goes a long way.
Yes.
Because after I had Caleb, the youngest, I
Mm-hmm.
was at home with him for 11 months,
Okay.
and I wasn't working. At that
Mm-hmm.
time, I was going to real estate school, I was doing those things
Mm-hmm.
online. And I almost went crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because, you think, oh, well, you're an at home mom,
Mm-hmm.
but you're at home and you're a mama for 24/7. You're at
Yes,
home
Lord.
and it's at night, it's in the morning, is that I and I didn't have a break, and I was just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
And I just got led to that to the app, the Bible app. And
Mm-hmm.
I had been seeing it, but I had never, because I'm kind of old school when it comes to reading. I'm like to
You
open the
wanna
actual
flip your
book, the
pages.
actual Bible.
Mm-hmm.
But I found it to be convenient because of those devotionals, and
Mm-hmm.
you can actually interact with other people and
Yep.
do devotionals together
I
and
see you
kind
on
of
there
hear, yeah,
creating
just
your images and stuff like that.
girl, and just
Yes.
conversing with other people and listening how they hear a word that's different than what I hear. So
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so that's really it. After my workout, I have devotional time. Sometimes I do devotional first and then I work out. And
Mm-hmm.
then I start working. I try to do as much work as I can before they get up. And then once they up, around about 8 o'clock, we have breakfast. And then from there, what did we do? We were doing schoolwork, but
Ooh, child. I'm so glad teleschool over Jesus. And I say I feel bad because I went to school for education and I was like, uh-uh.
girl, when I tell you, because it took like 2 hours, sometimes three, depending on what all they had to do.
Yes.
But yeah, so after that, but now since we're doing that, I take that time to kind of just like check emails, send emails,
Mm-hmm.
you know, bits and pieces of things that I have to do. Maybe I gotta review an inspection, just
Mm-hmm.
random things. And then we have a set schedule here. 12 o'clock, they know we having a snack. 1 to 2. This one's supposed to be napping right now, but it didn't work
Mm-hmm.
out. You know how when you got stuff to do, it just don't work.
Yes.
So, but yeah, after that, it's pretty much me and them in the afternoon. Then in the evening, I get back to doing some things in the evening for my business. Um, and by that time, my husband is home, so I'm able to do more. So I would say
Mhm.
I'm heavy in the morning, and then in the evening, trying to get some things done. But other than that, it's really just based around them.
Yeah. I understand that that was one of my struggles when they let school out because of course um I'm running a business, and so the way that we are taught and we are trained from what my lead generation time was from 9 to sometimes 1. It's supposed to be from 9 to 12, but a lot of times it would be 1. I would be eating and
Still talking.
still talking.
Yeah.
So when teleschool happened, I was like trying to get my youngest started because I have a 17-year-old son. And so he's on autopilot. He's,
Hey, good.
rising senior. They already had most of their stuff online. So he was
Yeah.
just like, whoo, I ain't got to get up and, go into that building. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then my oldest daughter, who is a middle schooler, she had been asking me before about being homeschooled, but for those of you who don't know, my oldest daughter has autism, and so her being social is one of the things that she actually needs. So even though she wanted to be homeschooled, I needed her to be social, so that's why she was in school. So she, would get up and, got on her teams, and we probably had a couple of classes where I really had to like help her on. But my youngest, Lord have mercy. So elementary school is not digital at all, y'all. And they weren't sending, like, I didn't go to the school and get like a packet of work. They were trying to send stuff on the websites. The links weren't working. We had to go to 10, 50, 11 websites trying to do this work. I'm like, what just happened to Moby Mac and I
And
why
I read and I read it.
I read. Why are we going here, there, everywhere, y'all? Let me tell you. I
Yeah.
was just like, probably for a week, I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I can't even do my job,
Yeah.
because of course, with an 8-year-old, you have to monitor them. Like she'll be quiet, and I think she's in the other room, doing her work, baby. She
She
just
on the pad.
upstairs and then sat in front of the TV, like she don't have any schoolwork to do.
Put it down.
So I'm just like, I am so glad till the school is over. But what I learned from that experience is, so I have to start my day before I can start her. When I get
Yeah.
to that point where, my work, like I'm very busy, probably between the hours of 8 and like 10:30. And then guess what? She wants to sleep in anyway. So the best part of her day is really between noon and 2. So
Yeah.
by that time, I've kind of finished up with my lead gen, and then I'm kind of rolling into my emails and all of that stuff. So I'm better able to assist her. And then I had to basically just sit her in my office at home because that's the only way I could keep an eye on her. Because when we get on a computer, sometimes we're in,
We in the zone.
in the zone. And
Yeah.
so, trying to figure out her disappearing and all that stuff, I ain't have time for that. But, when they said it was the last day of school, I was like, hallelujah. You talking about shouting? I was like, and it's just, it was a struggle. I was just like, Lord, how am I going to do this, next year? So, I had to take an analysis of my business. And I was just like, okay, if this is something that I have to go into next year, I'm going to have to flip flop some stuff,
Yeah.
to make it work. But because we are so trained on time and time blocking and scheduling and all of that, I mean, I schedule my whole day. I have my time of prayer. I have my time where I'm reading. I
Yeah.
have my, where I'm reading my devotionals and my scriptures. Then I post my scriptures to tell everybody good morning.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Wake up. So, I do that. And then I get into the day. Now, breakfast is grab and go. I'm not one of those, cook moms that will cook like breakfast in the morning. Now you
Yeah.
can.
I cook all the time, and they so spoiled.
Wow.
Yeah, they
See,
spoiled.
I'll do like maybe lunch sometimes, definitely dinner, but that breakfast is like every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't we weren't really conditioned growing up to eat breakfast, but as I got older, I realized how it is the most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
And it has helped, especially with me, walking and stuff and running in the evening. I can tell when I miss breakfast by
Yeah.
my workout because I'm like so tired. Rather than if I've gotten my, at least 2 meals and, some fruit and some snacks, I feel like I work out much better. And
Right.
so from there, my afternoons are usually appointments, or if I have morning appointments, that mean I can't lead gen into the afternoon. The thing is staying motivated to lead gen in the afternoon, because once you get back and you've been out in the field, you
You
tired.
exhausted. You exhausted.
You're exhausted, you're tired, especially if you've shown multiple homes. And so, after I've done real estate or thought I'm done with real estate, I still have to cook. I still have to make sure, my home is in order,
Yep.
because I am, part of being disciplined for me is being a person of order. And so when I see stuff out of whack, I'm like, hey, y'all, we need to fix this. And
Yeah.
from that point, my winding down is not always Netflix and chill. It's not always, a glass of wine. Sometimes I'm still texting my clients and stuff up until 9:30 at night, y'all.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
and I had to literally put a do not disturb on my phone because sometimes people, if they're looking online at 10 or 11, they're
You got to be ready.
texting, and I'm just like, no, I did have to cut that off. So I'm literally going from 9, like you have access to me from 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And so that's a large, span of time. And so I did, for me, I just said, no, I have to cut this off at 9:30. So
Yeah.
that way I can get into my area, and be with my loved ones and stuff like that, without, real estate, because some things can wait until the next day, you know.
Well, that's something that I probably need to implement because I'm really horrible about that. Like I've had clients reaching out. I mean, I've been on the phone with clients at like midnight.
Oh, wow, Kelly.
Yeah,
No,
so
your
that's
girl be
probably
asleep.
that's an area of opportunity for me because
Hmm.
when I'm in, I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
there. So yeah, that's probably something that I can take so far from our conversation is to limit that
Hmm.
because we do have a lot. We do have
Hmm.
you
And we
know
have a life
work
outside of real estate. Yeah.
but it is important to organize our days. I'm big on calendars. My
Yeah.
calendar on my phone, it alerts me for the smallest things.
Hmm.
It's still alerting me as if my oldest is in school and
Yeah.
he's not. So it's still, I mean, it keeps me on track. I
Yeah.
link all of them together. So I have my work,
Hmm.
my real estate, I have my personal. So everything is
Hmm.
on that one. It's color coded and it lets me know, okay, this time from this time I should be doing this time I should be doing that. And the
Hmm.
key is doing it because a lot of times it's on there, but if it's not done, you didn't have no product. Like, what have you done all day?
That's right. That's right.
And then you wondering why you not closing nothing or you don't have no.
That's right. Because we, what we do and how we lead gen, and that's really 20%.
That's it.
That 20% drives the 80%.
Yes,
So if we're not even putting forth that 20, then it's no way that we can reap that 80.
that's it.
And that's that eight, that 80-20 rule that some people don't, even realize. Like just doing and 20% is small. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
But if you
y'all on
don't do it,
Instagram.
you can't do nothing. If you don't do that 20,
That's right. Then
you just
don't look
you
for
at zero.
the 80.
You
That's
at
right.
0%.
You're at zero. And in lead generation, I used to do a lot of especially when I came to the business, I used to do a lot of open houses, because that was my way of like really getting in front of people. And it was to help me because I'm not gonna say I was shy, but just like approaching somebody that I didn't know, that's not something that I was very comfortable with. I was not very comfortable with, like having to speak, like when I do seminars and stuff like that. So that's something that I had to grow into. I'm naturally just kind of reserved because I believe in observing people and just kind of filling them out.
Yeah.
So I have to like I'm really an introvert. So I have to like come out of myself to do real estate, which is good. And that is why I have moments where, I retreat, where I have to just kind of go and get filled back up, because when I am around a lot of people and I am, working, it takes a lot out of me. So
Yeah.
I literally like go in my room and I'm like, do not
Bother.
bother me at all. I'm tired. Do you need anything? Do you need anything? I'm going in my room. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Well, I can
Yes.
say I've been right out of college. I started working as a recruiter, as a college recruiter.
Okay.
So talking to people,
Mm-hmm.
presenting. That's all I did
Yeah.
from 2006. No, 2007. Think it was 2007 up until now. I still recruit.
Oh wow.
So I just do it in a different form. So
Mm-hmm.
that has actually helped me
Mm-hmm.
in more ways. And then the lead gen and the calling and the cold calling and the follow up. That's all I did in recruitment.
Wow.
So
So
it's
this
the
was
same.
a
It's the
perfect
same thing.
transition.
Perfect transition.
Mm-hmm.
It's just knowing when to let go of one and to take on the other.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
you know, we'll see. But right now I'm maintaining, I'm not, going too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I have my moments, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a good my spouse, he's real good. He helped me
Good.
out tremendously.
That's
And
awesome. That's
and
awesome, girl. I don't have a spouse, but hey, maybe. And I'm not gonna say I don't have help. I do, but those times, where I'm feeling, I guess too, my kids have grown up real estate. So
yes,
they understand, like, when mama, like, doing open houses, like, literally, I have them, I send out, just some note cards to my clients. Just, hey, how y'all doing? I know we've been in the corona, we still partially under quarantine.
mm-hmm.
How y'all doing?
Yeah,
We're surviving. I share with them, even about teleschool and all that stuff. Like, hey, y'all, I'm so glad it's over. I'm gonna
yeah,
keep it real.
yeah.
And after I wrote, because I hand wrote all my notes, my daughter stuffed the envelopes, put the stamps on, they do all of that.
That's amazing.
And that's
That's
teaching
awesome.
them very early that a man who doesn't work does not eat. And that's
Hello.
teaching them, that even with me telling them, make sure you're putting this on straight, put this on the correct way, because this represents me and I represent you. And all of that last year, he got into QuickBooks with the accounting software, going through my bank account, with my expense report and my expense sheet, because I'm teaching them that you have to earn. Like, I'm not just gonna give you anything just because you're my child and I love you. Like, no, you have to earn it. You know
I
what I'm
know that's
saying?
right.
Because when you go out here in the real world, nobody's going to give you anything. That's why we say,
Absolutely.
how can we earn your business? You know what I'm saying? No, nobody gives us business. We earn it. And it may be something we said. It may be something that we did. It may be something, just a kind word. But
Yeah.
in all that we have done, we earn the business. We're not, people just don't just give us stuff just because our name is Trish and Kelly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's the misconception that I think sometimes children have. And I've always taught them, like, they've grown up real estate, so they see me on the phone, they've been in the seminars, they've been at the open house, they're at the cleanup, the setup and the cleanup,
Mm-hmm.
but that's to teach them too. My son
Hard work.
gone out, and he got him a job, and they did have to close down because of corona. But I was like, you can work for me. You can work for me. Not even realizing that the springboard to him even being able to go out there and interview
Mm-hmm.
and he got hired on the spot when he went.
Yeah.
That started with me teaching him, those little things. And so I
Absolutely.
had to let go and say, okay, and he balanced football, he balanced work, and he balanced his schoolwork. So for that, I'm grateful for it. But I just think that, us setting an example is everything.
Yeah.
So my girls get to see me not say I'm a boss, but they see when I'm up late, when I'm
Yeah.
up early. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
The
They
hard work you're putting into it. It's not. It
Mhm.
just doesn't come to you. You got to work for it.
That's right. And they've been
Yeah.
to closings with me. So they're just like my oldest daughter, she had a light bulb moment. She said, So you just now getting paid at the end. So I've invested time, money, and you see that from the start to the finish, I'm just now getting my paycheck at the end. And so her seeing that made it real, made her realize that, when I develop my processes and even, I'm down to where I have like 2 lenders, I have 2 inspectors, where I develop my team of this is who I'm working with.
Yeah.
This is what I expect. Because if those vital people are in place, then my deal rolls smoothly. I got contracts to close, and I got her because even though like I work for a state agency and all we did was paperwork, even talking to people on the phone, we would get cursed out. But so when people say no, it doesn't really mean, doesn't hurt my feelings, because some people have feel funny when they say when people say, well, no, I don't want to do business with you or whatever. So with me working at a state agency and the paperwork, I thought, paperwork is no big deal. But what I realized is that it became overwhelming and I couldn't really be there for my client because I was trying to muddle through, okay, what does this person need? This needs to be changed in the contract. So I hired a contract to close. And when I tell you that has blessed my whole life, because I'm able to get that done, but then I'm still able to be there with my client, hold their hands, especially, first time home buyers. They got trillions of questions and they want to know what to do.
Khalil.
Oh, they are too funny. But that's our life. But that really, helped propel me so that I'm there for my clients.
Yeah.
So I think our next question was, what's on your playlist? Like, what are you listening to these days?
It depends on what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. So if I'm working out, I need me some New Future or some Jeezy or some
same here.
Lil Baby. I love Lil Baby to run. So I'll just find them because I'm an Apple Tunes girl. So I'll log in and I'll just find all of Lil Baby whatever and just let it just run through. But if I am working and I need a little motivation, I need to be pushed a little bit, I may play some Jonathan Reynolds, he has a new, I think it's called People, I think is the name of the new album. So I'll just let it run. But like my theme song throughout this whole Corona thing that started from March to now is I forget who sang the song, but Big. And it's
Pastor Mike, girl. Yes.
So like that has been our theme in this household. That and blessings on blessings on blessings.
Yep.
I don't know who sang it, but those
I can't remember that person.
I can just run it and that just get because sometimes I'm human. I may have a day where I'm just frustrated. I'm feeling defeated.
Yeah.
And you're getting all this negative numbers and stuff from the news, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'm about to just turn this music on, turn this off, clean, do whatever I need to do, and just get back in a positive state. So it just really depends on what I'm doing, but I'm a little versatile with that.
Same here. Same here. I when I'm working out, I'm definitely on the ATL hood music. I am, and I love Tupac is my favorite rapper, so I'm on Tupac as well. And for me, it just kind of puts me in that zone as I'm kind of working my body and pushing myself. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, so I can't just pop up. Yes, I gotta have that extra thump to kind of make me go, and then I feel like it keeps me balanced because throughout the day I'm listening to gospel, and that keeps me going. I listen to William Murphy on Pandora. It's one of my favorite stations. I listen to Ricky Dillard on Pandora, and then I have certain, like if I hear a song that I really like, I'll download it, in Apple's iTunes. But when you say Big, that has been my theme song, and it keeps happening for me by Kiera Shear. Like when I tell you, I have just watched, how they say you're blessed in a famine and in a pandemic. where I have not wanted for a thing. I'm thankful to God for that, and my business is built on God, family, real estate. And
That's
so
it.
I would not be where I am, who I am without him. And so even though, I just have to, like, when I'm working and just like you said, you having those days where you're kind of feeling defeated, your deal done fell through, you got all this other crazy stuff happening. Miss Elaine says Anthony Brown group therapy, blessings on blessings.
Oh,
Thank you, Miss Elaine.
thank
And
you.
she's up in Michigan. She actually we did an estate sale. She sold her late brother's home. And so, I keep in touch with her, still, because once you become a part of the Trish Atlanta family, you family.
You family.
So we just, keep in touch just to see how she's doing and stuff like that. So thank you so much for that, Miss Elaine. But I think that just keeps me centered. And I understand what you were saying. Like when I first started in the real estate business, I was a stay-at-home mom too.
Now, give him what he wants.
I was a stay-at-home mom too. So I understand, how you kind of had that moment where you just like overwhelmed. You're a mom 24/7.
He's gonna give you the cake. Go.
But one of the things that I promised myself was that I was going to get back to Trish, especially as they got older. It's just like I can really, get back to doing the things, to continue to prepare me for professionally, as well as raise them, because I'm not just y'all mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm Trish. I'm a whole person, and hopefully I'm a whole vibe. But
Okay,
I
you
just,
better be a vibe.
but it's just like how you coming out of that soccer mom syndrome and you kind of getting into, the professional part. So, girl, I know. It won't last long, Kelly. I promise you it won't last long.
Oh, Lord. What do you want?
It won't.
Huh? Go get it. Khalil's gonna give it to you. Khalil, give it to him now. Go get it.
Are they
Sorry.
close or do they?
They are really close. They love each other to death. They
Mm-hmm.
played, and I'm so grateful that they're only 4 years apart, so they do have that
Mm-hmm.
time to, kind of be kids together.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, we got the alternative of fighting over one toy, which
Yeah.
is what we fighting over right now.
Mm.
I had the we had the pre conversation to say whatever the baby want, just give it to him. While I'm on this call, just give him if he want that Bob the Builder, give it to him.
But those older siblings, they try to, because my oldest daughter does that to my youngest. She's like, nanny boo boo. And sometimes I have to ask her, how old are you?
Yeah.
Like, and they're almost 5 years apart, but she knows how to get up under her skin. And it's funny because my oldest, like, they're not, and I guess because he's a boy, it's like a gender thing.
Oh yeah.
But, they don't even bother him like that. It's the two girls that are just like, nanny boo boo. And the youngest one, she a little feisty. So I look at the oldest and be like, don't sleep on her because she sleep on you, baby.
Child, when I tell you this youngest one gave me a run for my money.
Yes, it's always the last one, Jesus. But I get it. And you're like, once they hit that 8-year-old stage, you'll start seeing them kind of mellow out, because I'm seeing my youngest kind of mellow out a little bit. I snuck up on her last night. I saw her on the camera going in the pantry at like 12 o'clock. So I crept down the steps. I came around the corner. What you doing? She almost fell out the chair. You done pulled a chair up to the pantry trying to get to the top to get some muffins. I said, okay.
I need me a midnight snack. Okay.
And that's my pickiest eater. So I'm just like, girl, we gonna have to do better. And she has gotten better. She's gotten better, but just hold on.
Yeah. That's how my 6-year-old is.
Older.
He's very picky, but he's gotten a lot better too. During this whole pandemic thing. We only got A or B. Which one you want?
See?
Which one you want? A or B?
And I'm glad you're doing it now, because at 8, it's just like, I'll starve. And I'm just like, Now you know we can't do that.
No, mamas can't let their babies go to the
Right.
vegan. No.
So it's like, oh, I wish I would have been, a little bit more proactive. Her taste buds are improving, but it's a slow process when you
Yeah.
have, a finicky eater.
Yeah.
So let me see. Our next question was actually, what's the best series that you've watched on Netflix since coronavirus hit?
Um, you know what? I've only watched one so far, and
Okay.
that and it's not even, well, it's old, but it's Black Lightning.
Girl, I've been watching Black Lightning too. It is so good. I need
I
some new
love that.
episodes. Are some new
Yeah,
episodes up?
I just finished season 3 last weekend. And I was like, I just been watching like random movies since then, but
Mhm.
I loved it.
Wow.
I love seeing a black superhero.
Yes, yes.
I think
I
they
love
did
his
a really good job.
daughters, like China Anne McClain. It's so great to see her. Like that was one of my favorite series. We binge watched it like
I really enjoyed
back to back to back. It was so good that Tobias made me want to beat him up.
Girl Tobias, but he played his role
He
well.
does. I mean,
Anytime you hate a character, they did their job, especially when they supposed to be hated. You
and
know,
sometimes it will be funny the stuff that he was saying. You'll just be like, man, this
like
is right.
like you a racist albino. That's what you is.
Yes,
Like, do you not know you black? You just albino.
girl, he was like off the
Girl, yeah.
chain.
Girl, yeah.
So yes, that was one of my favorite series too. Definitely Black Lightning, y'all. If you have not watched it, check it out. Binge watch it. I did. It's awesome. And what is the All American? That was really good.
I haven't gotten on that one yet,
It's
but I got.
good.
I think I put a post up once, and I got like 3, 4 people telling me to watch it.
Yes,
So maybe that could be my next one.
it's good. I saw everybody like talking about Tiger King. I couldn't really get into it. I was like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm confused. So
You know how
we
Netflix show you
reset
like a
that.
little preview before?
Mhm.
I couldn't vibe.
I
I
mean,
couldn't even.
I remember saying, why does he hate Carol Baskin so much? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. So that's kind of where I was with that. And I'm trying to think of something else that I watched that I was just like, oh my goodness, it was so good. But Black Lightning stands out. And
Oh, you know what's another one that I watched for a very long time? It was like 8 seasons that I watched from like
mhm.
last year to this year. It's the girls' prison.
Oh, Orange is the New Black.
No, it's another
It's
one.
another one.
But because they were over in another country.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, that's gonna bother me. But it
Let's
was
see.
8 seasons of it. It was they were in another country. They had like a I think it was like a English accent or something. I don't know, but it was so good. It was called oh, it was right there. I may have to find it.
Or Facebook or Instagram. If y'all know what she's talking about, drop it in the comments for us, please.
I think it's a Netflix original.
Oh wow.
Women, what was it called? Women prison show. Let me see.
And I've been on my Amazon Prime steeds. I caught up with Single Ladies, I guess when it came out. I don't know how I bypassed it with Lisa Ray. I binge watched that too. It was really good. I enjoy, watching that, especially, having gone through some of the pitfalls of single life. It's
Oh,
just like, whoo, Lord, I've had a mild one.
I didn't even know that they had put that on there. So you said it's
Mhm.
on.
It might be on Amazon Prime, but
Okay.
it's not like on Netflix. No, it's on. It might be on Netflix. I can't remember because we got
Okay, it's
Netflix,
called
Amazon,
Wentworth. It's called Wentworth.
Wentworth. I'm gonna have to look that up.
When
I
I
think I
tell
saw
you,
it, but I rolled past it.
it's good. Don't
Oh
sleep on
wow.
it. It's good. It's so much that was going on in that little prison and outside the prison with the guards and this and that.
Mm.
It was really good. It kept my attention for 8 seasons.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I watched
8 seasons.
Yeah, it's been on
Woo.
for a long time. It's really good.
That's gonna be a good one right there.
Yeah, it starts off kind of slow,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really good.
Okay. I'll put that on my to watch list.
Yes, try it out.
I am. So we talked a little bit about, about balancing everything as moms and stuff like that. What is the one thing that you miss personally and professionally since COVID-19 happened?
Well, one of the things is getting my hair done. Hence, this right here, all this is gray.
No,
All this,
Kelly.
girl. When I tell you, I need to go and get my hair colored, cut. I need a cut. I need a
Yes.
pedicure. I just miss that pampering time because
Hmm.
one of the things besides doing my devotional when I was at home momming for 11 months was getting out once a month with a girlfriend to go have a cocktail, go have dinner, go to a movie,
Hmm.
and I can't do that right now.
Yes.
And I choose not to. While those things are open, I
Yeah.
know I have children at home, I have a husband at home. I
That's
don't want to
right.
throw them just because I want a day out, you know.
That's so
So
true.
yeah, so that's what I miss most, is times, time out with the girls like that. And then we had a family trip planned. We couldn't go. We were
Hmm.
supposed to go somewhere for spring break and maybe for the summer, but it looked
Hmm.
like both of them gonna be canceled. So it's
Yep.
just like really just a relaxing and just pampering is what I miss most.
Yeah, and I have probably been overstanding that I need a vacation.
Mhm.
So I definitely, missed that because we were actually gonna go to Vegas like right when COVID hit. It was just like, oh, Vegas is canceled. And then not really knowing how long things would go on. And so
Yeah.
my family reunion was in July. That ended up being canceled. My son and my dad, they were going on a trip. um they were going on a trip, and that got canceled. That was actually in June, and they were going to like Boston, like they were doing like a tour, with Maine and all of that.
Oh, that would have been really nice.
Really nice trip, canceled. And then my son's SAT has been canceled. The ACT, like we have signed up at least 3 more times, and the dates keep getting canceled. So hopefully, he'll be able to take it. And get I did like normally when I go to the nail salon, my damage, I took that money and I went and I bought like the gel, the lamp and the polish and stuff. And that has kind of been my saving grace, and it keeps me busy.
Yeah.
I said I was going to teach my daughter, how to do it because, especially in the summertime, I do take them to get pedicures. So, they feet looking correct in sandals. But it kind of gives us a little bonding opportunity
Yeah.
because it's showing them how to do it, and then it's nice, kind of having it at home. Now I got a drill. I was messing up my cuticles. I said, "Ooh, child, that's why they go to nail school because you can mess
Hello.
up cuticles with that drill." So I definitely miss, like I'm a beach water person. I'm
Yeah.
just like I need the beach in a
Yes.
in a grown folks beverage.
Hello.
Beach looking at the water with my hat on and a nice book,
Yeah.
and jump in the water if it gets a little too warm. But I'm definitely like I totally miss that. And like you said, I made a decision to not, go out. Um, Marion Gray said Wentworth is bomb. I'm looking at the
I'm
comments.
telling you,
I'm
don't
I'm
sleep
I'm
on
gonna
it.
put that on my list. I'm gonna put it on my list. So I'm not doing it. I'm still Instacarting. So I'm trying to stay away from people and have as less contact with people as much as possible. Even with my clients, I let them know up front I have on a mask. I'm still practicing 6 feet. And that's
Yeah.
something because, like you said, I have people at home that one depend on me to come back and not to be sick, and then I don't want to infect them.
Absolutely.
Everybody hasn't been taking it as serious, because they're like, oh, Memorial Day coming, I want to have a cookout and all this stuff. But baby, people are still dying because of the coronavirus. And
And what about all them people at the beach this weekend?
I saw that. No
I
six
had at
feet,
least, I had at
nothing on their
least,
faces.
I had at least 5 or 6 people on my timeline that went. And I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to be there. I ain't gonna lie, I
I
wanted to
mean,
be at
I
the
do
beach too.
too. Keeping
I
it
ain't gonna
real, I do too. But for me, the what could happen, you know, it just outweighs. Like when I think
Yeah.
about, you know, I'm just like, no. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm still Instacarting. I really, because you know, people are in the store and they have markers and they're saying, stand back, you know, however many feet, and it's like they're still all up on you. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at them like, can
Back.
you back?
Can I have a little space? Can I have my 6 feet, please?
Right. And so that's kind of, you know, that and
Thank
that
you.
prevents me from really going out a lot too. Other than where I absolutely you know, I have to go. I did kind of venture out this weekend by my job and they were a little better. But it's just like in my community, I'm just like, if I can tell you guys anything else, I want to tell y'all to please give 6 feet.
Okay.
Please wear your mask.
Almost ready. Okay. Yep.
So that's probably the biggest thing for me. And then professionally, I miss those rooftop happy hours, you know, just with not really because I'm not a big drinker. Because I'll get some club soda and lime, but just the camaraderie and just being out and just kind of you know, like networking and stuff like that. I do miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that tremendously because you know that our business is built on relationships. When they say real estate, they should really say real relationships because that's what it's built on.
Absolutely.
And so, with that being said, it's like we have to. I just miss the camaraderie, you know, sometimes, and we would be, you know, over there and just have a nice little
Yeah.
time. But that's what I miss professionally. I'm not able to do, you know, like my open houses and stuff like that.
I miss them because you
Yeah.
know what? I made a cognizant decision for myself. Every month this year, I was going to host one open house for
Mm-hmm.
someone, either a listing on my own or someone
Yep.
out of my brokerage. And I started January strong, February
Mm-hmm.
strong, March strong. I had got one in March, that very first weekend, and I haven't held one since. But I loved it. I met great people, you know, and it's the best way to
Get your
meet
name out.
buyers.
It
You
is.
know, obviously they're coming because they're interested in buying either that house or another house. So
Mm-hmm.
why not help them if they're not already represented? So, but I loved hosting it. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
But I committed to doing one a month because, you know, I do have two full-time opportunities in
Mm-hmm.
front of me. So now if I was, you know, solely real estate, then I would probably have committed more
Yeah.
time, but balancing my family and, you know, having time with them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just sanity and cleaning and all that. I was like, okay, I can commit to one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to get back on track with that.
I agree with that. So what has been like a big hit in your quarantine kitchen? Like what is something that you've made that you know your family has been like, oh my God, this is the bomb.
Um, We've had a few things that have been hits. Honestly, we haven't eaten out since March. Like
Oh
we haven't
wow.
ordered out, we haven't done anything, and I came this close to doing some takeout the other day because it's a lot, you know,
Yeah.
to do and to clean up and the da da da. But my kids love tacos.
Mm.
Cause and it's quick for me, so I don't
Yeah.
mind. Um, Spaghetti is a big one, and then like we've been grilling a lot, so
Mm-hmm.
we've been trying like different marinades and stuff for like lamb and
Mm. That sounds
um
good. I'm like, ooh, idea.
yeah. Yeah. So we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing that. Little chicken drumettes, and then I try to put the stuff that I want as my sides on the grill
Mm-hmm.
too, like sweet potatoes,
Yep.
asparagus, Brussels sprouts, those types of things. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do nothing in the kitchen. Everything just on the grill.
Mm.
Food come back in, we ready to eat.
Yep. That's
So
smart.
and put a couple hot dogs on there for them, so that can be quick for them to eat
Mm.
today and the next day. So
Yep.
I just try to be proactive with that. But we've been grilling out a lot, so I
Yeah.
think that has helped. And you know, spaghetti stretch.
Yeah. That's my least favorite dish, y'all. Spaghetti.
What? Why?
When I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, I used to crave spaghetti. So it's like once I finished, you know, like once I had her, I was like, oh, I don't like spaghetti. Every now and then I get a taste for it. My tribe, they love tacos, they love seafood. We actually did like a crab boil for Memorial Day.
No. What about that pizza that you did with that with the shrimp?
Okay,
I was like, I need that.
Kelly, it was so good. I
It
would have
looked
put like
good.
a little bit more cheese in it, you know, for the sauce. But overall, it was a big hit. Everybody was just like, that sauce was bomb. Like, I was like, I could technically make that sauce and then like blacken some, some fish and put the shrimp and the crab in there and put it on. I started getting ideas. So that
Mm-hmm.
pizza, and I'm more like a thin crust pizza girl with a lot
I
of
am.
veggies on it, and it doesn't necessarily have to have meat on it. But that
Yeah,
right there, it was a hit. When I tell
girl.
you, they were going for broke, and my son found the last piece and ate it.
Oh,
So
that's how you do.
I was like, oh boy.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, that pizza was, because I cook normally it's tacos. I don't fry, even though I can fry, I don't fry a lot of foods. I only fry chicken once a month. I might buy it before I
Yeah,
fry it in the house, but and I condition myself. I don't even really buy the oil. I just buy like a small thing of it.
yeah,
But my pickiest eater is the youngest, but everybody else they eat everything.
yeah.
So I don't, I've done quesadillas, tacos. I did like a ziti, which is lazy lasagna. I've made lasagna too. I eat that a little bit better than spaghetti. And just some other things, that I just make. Sometimes have to throw it together. Some days I'm like, y'all on y'all own. Y'all got the chicken patties, the chicken nuggets, the appetizers, you
Frozen
know,
pizza. Frozen.
frozen, yep, pot pies, I got the
Mm-hmm.
pizza rolls and all that stuff. So hot pockets, hey, y'all on y'all own. But that,
Yeah,
gives me a break because being in the kitchen is a lot.
yeah.
And we got like two more questions and then we can start taking questions from the audience. I already have one up about first time home buyers.
Okay.
Um, what is something that you've learned since being virtual that you will continue to implement in your business even when all of this is over?
Um, I was already pretty um tech savvy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But having to meet people for the first time
Mm-hmm.
virtually, for instance, I've gotten referrals that are in state and out of state, and
Mm-hmm.
either way, we're still meeting virtually,
Mm-hmm.
and we still are just as efficient. I feel,
Yeah.
um, with understanding what they need, with going through a buyer consultation,
Mm-hmm.
with connecting them with the lender, with finding their property. Um, and honestly, I feel like when you're working with someone under these conditions, I feel like they're more serious.
Yeah.
And when they go out, they know it's the house that they're truly interested in because they don't want to be out there and mess unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm. Unnecessarily.
So
That's right.
so when we're going out, I think it's been, just really preparing them to understand that what type of market that we're in and how to be prepared when we go out and to know how aggressive your offer has to be, like just really prepping them. And I think I'm able to convey that just as well virtually. So I
Mm-hmm.
would think that the biggest thing that I think I would take away is just a virtual Zoom consultations.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're able to meet quicker
Yeah.
rather than trying to get timing together. Can you meet at the office? Can we meet at the coffee
Yes.
shop? Those things. So it's like, well, let's talk tonight. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
whereas in a normal setting, we would probably be meeting this weekend or next week. But
Right.
having this technology available,
Mm-hmm.
it's enabled us to meet a lot sooner.
Yes, I definitely agree with that, Kelly. It's one of the things that I'm actually, because I'm about efficiency,
Yes.
that I will be implementing going forward. Just like the Zoom meetings, I was able to like Zoom. I had my client and they were just coming in, so they had questions with the lender. So my lender was on the Zoom. So we
Oh,
were
that's
able to
really
kind of
efficient.
hash all of that out right then, get
Yeah.
her to the loan application,
Yeah.
so that way, we could kind of devise a plan on how to assist her. And like you said, a lot of times it's around traffic. What
Yeah.
time do I get off? You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't get to that side of town. Now it's just like, what time is best for you? It could be on your lunch break, what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But things are so much more flexible. And I think for me, doing everything virtually, it has definitely like propelled and increased my business because now it is about relational and seeing people and talking to them. Now you can talk to them digitally, and that's been the way that we've literally been doing this for 3 months, and then
Yeah.
it stays on time.
It does.
And you can do a quick Zoom for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, but it's done.
Yep.
And they get a chance to see you, and and to me it humanizes us,
Yes.
because they see us, and how we market our material and we posing, and we're doing all of this, but we're people too. We're moms, wives, we're sisters, we're brothers, we're sisters, and we have a life as well. And so
Mhm.
that's why, if your kid comes in, mom, I want a snack, hey girl, I understand, because mine won't snacks in a meal, but I
Okay.
just think it
All
kind
day.
of takes off of the fluff and the facade, so that we can just kind of be, together and work on the plan to actually help people. Um, that's one thing that I know I will be implementing. I actually was looking at like the online scheduling as well, as another thing that I wanted to do to kind of increase, just the efficiency of my business. So that way, if they wanted to schedule a Zoom, they can look at my schedule, and just plug themselves in. And then I could plug in the times where I can and I can't, so that they can just look at it.
Very
So that's definitely one of my takeaways. And I've always kind of been like squeamish with germs and stuff. And so I was already washing my hands, and I was already on one. I wasn't wearing a mask, but I think too it just kind of gives light, to how we have to, just have some of those practices too when we're entering home. Sometimes I think people take it for granted. So like I'm opening the door, but like we have to maintain a level of cleanliness,
Oh yeah.
um, so that, going forward, nobody gets sick. And I think that people really, have come to the realization that, this is something that we have to do to stay healthy. And I still implement that. So that's one thing going forward. I keep hand sanitizer and all of that.
I think that's gonna be a new normal across the board though.
Yeah.
And like I went out yesterday for like an orientation walkthrough, and it was just like just to see everybody masked up, and
Mhm.
I had a doctor's appointment. Just seeing those things, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, this is life right now. But I
Mhm.
think that a lot of businesses are going
Mhm.
to reevaluate their
But that brick and mortar building,
because they can save overhead.
they
All these
can.
people that they thought couldn't work from home now, guess what? They can,
They can. And then,
and they're just as efficient.
yep, and they're happier because they're home with their families. Have you had the opportunity to do like a car closing yet?
I haven't.
So the car closing is kind of wild for me. It was it was weird because it's like I'm sitting in my car, and then the buyer or the seller is sitting in their car, and it's like
The attorney come
come
out.
out, and then
Yeah.
so but we're on a like a Zoom too.
Oh
So we're
wow.
on the Zoom, and then they'll come out, they do the paperwork, so they can physically see them signing the paperwork, because they have to record that.
Hmm.
And so then when it's like, because I've lately, my closing gift has been like this cleaning basket, because that's just the time that we're in. So we got
Yeah.
bleach and all the stuff that we can find. I have a lady that she does these beautiful baskets.
Oh
And
wow.
so it's just like I have to shift it from one car to the next, but we're not taking any pictures. We're not doing anything.
Yeah, that's that.
And so that's weird for me,
Yeah.
because I do like 1 year home anniversaries and all that stuff. And we have pictures, and I want them to have pictures. So even the final walkthrough is kind of like I open the door, you go in. We have to keep our distance. So that's been a little weird,
Yeah.
but
Now that I don't like. I
I
mean,
don't.
we work so hard, especially for people like I'm
Mhm.
working with a young lady now who I've been working with since last February. And she
Mhm.
closes this month. And it's like we don't work so hard to get
Yeah,
here. And we
you
can't.
can barely say hug them and say good job. It.
Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like. Yeah.
That's the one thing I don't like, but I do believe that my business has become more efficient with being
Oh
able to get people in digitally. I do believe that. And
yeah.
I think I got one more, and we can kind of talk about that in the Q&A, because I know, people ask us all the time about advice that we can give new agents or people that's interested in real estate business, and we touched on that too earlier.
Mhm.
What is one thing that your clients may not know about you?
Um, what they may not know. Well, I tell them a lot. So, Initially, when I'm just like really just doing a formal introduction for the first time after a referral or
Mm-hmm.
a lead that I may have gotten from someone else, um, they're always surprised to learn that I actually, and a lot of people don't know this really, I went to when I went off to school to West Georgia, I actually majored in real estate.
What?
Yeah, I majored in real estate, and I graduated with a major in real estate. But right after school is when the market crashed. So I
Mm.
went and got a job,
Uh-huh.
and I had a job for almost 10 years before I went back to real estate
Mm-hmm.
to get my real estate license. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was pregnant with my youngest, it just came like, why didn't you finish what you started?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I wanted to do. And it was like, okay.
Oh wow,
So I looked into
Kelly.
it. I made a call, and they were like, oh yeah, because you have 75 hours, and from
Mm-hmm.
college, you can just go. You can register to take your test now. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on now, I wasn't
Yeah.
ready for that.
Yep.
So I just got a refresher course online and went for it
Mm-hmm.
like that. So they're
Mm-hmm.
always really intrigued by that. And then what else? I think that's maybe it.
Okay. I mean, that's amazing. Like I didn't even know that, you went to school for real estate. I always tell people I went, for education because I thought I wanted to be a teacher until I went to school and then I entered the workforce. I had my son who is 17. I actually had him in college. So I ended up going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people this, as a testimony too of, you can do anything that you set your mind to.
Absolutely.
So I went back, and when I did my practicum, now mind you, I had got my license like when you said the market collapsed. I got my license when the market collapsed. And
Mm-hmm.
so I tell people this too. It was the breeding ground for me understanding that real estate was hard work. So
Okay.
nobody gave me, I got my license during the market collapse. Nobody gave me anything. So
Lord.
I learned very early REO, bank owned property, and I learned about property management because
Yeah.
the broker that I was with after Metro Brokers, they had a hedge fund, and so they were buying properties, they were flipping them, and then they were
Yeah.
renting them out. And that was back on the name of that company was the Leasing Shop. And so I got, experience with property management and actually, leasing out and doing background, like all
That's
of that.
great
Yeah.
experience to have under your belt.
Yes, it
Mm.
is. And so that's where I kind of started. So my actual sales didn't really kick in until later on. And I did have a few, here and there, but we were really on that investor,
Yeah.
tipping on that
That was that time.
yeah, because that was that time. And so that helped me grow because, when people were talking about the coronavirus and, oh my God, what's going to happen to the market? Some people are shook. They're like, what are
Absolutely.
we going to do? Or, oh my God, it's the apocalypse. But when you have kind of gone through that type of market, nothing really scares you because I mean,
Yeah.
I saw subdivisions like builders just going out of business. I saw Countrywide that became Bank of America, no tea, no shade. Um, they were gone away. I just saw a lot. And I
Yeah.
think seeing that very early on taught me how to navigate the market.
Yeah.
I'm grateful, to have been in the business for this long because, have I had days that I wanted to quit? Absolutely. Have I, had to deal with, we deal with people. And so, sometimes you do have a difficult client. Um, but I just keep moving forward because, like I said, it's purposeful. It's not,
Absolutely.
people want to say, and I saw this comment last night that, someone said, oh, all the y'all are about your money, but every day when you clock into your job, aren't you about yours? You understand what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So if I'm
Absolutely.
helping you and I'm doing everything to the best of my ability to ensure that you're represented fairly, correctly, and by, the standards and ethics, why wouldn't I be about getting paid at the end? Because I do have a family to feed.
Absolutely.
So, when people make comments like that, you have to gently let them know that everybody's in it for the money. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what drives me. Um,
Correct.
one of my closing attorneys, she was laughing at me because she was like, Trish, is your commission correct? I said, well, let me look, because I honestly, I don't even look at the commission until I have the settlement statement.
Yeah.
Because why? You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
like, I don't count money before I get it. And so when I look at my settlement statement, I'm just like, oh, well, how much did it say, on the MLS? So now my contract's to close. She texts me what was listed on the listing so that I know, how much it is. But, you know, what we do, I say that it's purposeful, it's part ministry, because some people they go through stuff like
Oh
have the
my
price of
God.
a house and the
Yes.
sacrifices that they have to make and the
Yes.
money that they have to save, and we can't eat out until after this house is closed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
they go through so much. And even sellers with selling it and detaching, that's like their biggest thing,
Yeah.
detaching from the house.
Yeah.
Like detach is you're putting it on the market. So I've had to have those conversations, just like, I understand that, it's your house, but people have to see it to buy it. So,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to pull up on, letting them see it. So, those are some things that I guess have been interesting during my time. And I just hope, as we advance to the next level of real estate, we don't know what it's going to look like. You see our buyers out here, and, I see the Mark Spains, but I think for me, and just dealing with people, that they enjoy the conversation. Even if we're digitally, they enjoy seeing that face and not,
Yeah.
like you pass
Just a phone
this
call.
person and this person to that person and this
Yeah.
person, but they actually have somebody that they're meeting with that they're trusting and holding their hand through the transaction. So I think that's something that regardless of what kind of happens in our business, that will never get old. Building relationships will never get old. Building rapport, that right there will never get old. And so I just think that's the crux, of the real estate business. And as we continue, like I said, to go forward, I'm definitely taking some of this digital platform stuff with me. Because I just think, just efficiency, and then other people see, like, it's okay. Like, we don't necessarily have to sit down for coffee at Starbucks, because that was my biggest thing. I can be having my cup of coffee over here. You can have yours over there, and then we can just talk about, informally. And sometimes that disarms people. It feels
Yeah.
like I have to look a certain way or be a certain way, so that you can get to the root of what it is that they need.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and it's not just, and then they can see that you actually care. I think, and this is something that I learned in Bold. It was like, once a person knows that you care, then you got the business.
Yeah.
So you just got to find that common in that middle ground.
Yeah.
But we're going to start taking questions. If you have any questions for me or Kelly, drop them in the comments. I have one about first-time home buyers. It says, for a first-time home buyer, what type neighborhood would you suggest they select? Is it up to the client to research a community or the agent to have knowledge of the communities being selected? An example, a city surrounds a community with warehouses devaluing property values, and this is not known until after the purchase.
Mm. That's a great question.
It is
By the
a
way.
question. Yeah, it's kind of like a three-part question too.
Yeah.
So the first part is, for a first-time home owner, what type of neighborhood would you suggest they select? So I'll get into like the ethics of that first. So we can't like
Steer.
steer people. So we can't say, oh, you're a first-time home buyer, you should live in that neighborhood. We can't do that. Um, we can suggest based on a price range, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? But we can't like suggest a resident that they should select. And that's because you ultimately have to live there. Will I give you my expert knowledge of sales and all of that and the data? Of course, but I can't, steer you.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. It says, is it up to the client to research a community or the agent to have knowledge of the communities being selected?
I think both.
I think both too, Kelly. I believe that when you do your own research, it empowers you.
Absolutely.
The only thing that we can't determine sometimes is future, because that comes with planning and zoning. So that's something that we don't. Oh, that's something that we don't have any jurisdiction over. When you're talking about planning and zoning or knowing what, they're going to put in a community, because they may be building houses and then they may build other things based on the need of the people or based on the need of the economy. But we don't have any way of knowing, if we're not on the planning and zoning committee, what they're going to put in there, other than, we may know a little bit about the schools, because,
Yeah.
and just in South Fulton alone, like when I've lived in South Fulton for 10, no, my daughter is 12. So we moved out here when she was like 1, and it used to be farms out here. It was cattle, like in Fairburn, it was cattle. We saw chickens, pigs. I mean, it was farmland, and now it's like trucks. It has gotten like semi-industrial, and
Yes.
those large pastures, they're now subdivisions. And back then, I had no way of knowing that the farmland would be gone. And so that just comes over time. It comes with politics, and when we have elected officials come in office and their vision of what it should be, based on the people and all of that. So we just really have, no way of knowing. The only thing that we can do is advise you based on the statistical data of real estate. And then even when it comes to like schools, we have to tell you, get on great schools and kind of make an analysis from there. If you want to research test scores, they're available on depending on the county, they're available on the school county websites. So that's kind of the position that we're kind of put in due to ethics, to make sure that we are not in violation of the Fair Housing Act, which is also a civil rights act. He is so cute.
See himself.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, and I think the last part of the question, they just gave an example about, warehouses, and we're seeing that a lot, in the South area. Yeah, but I believe that's because of the proximity of the airport. So they're looking at it as an opportunity, because the airport is a hub. So they're looking at that as an opportunity. But I do see on next door, what is it, next door neighbor? Or it's an app, but I do see a lot of complaints. And I'll say that, especially having a young driver with my son, he doesn't particularly like to, do a lot of driving in the South Fulton area because of the trucks, and they are pretty scary. I mean, they're scary to me, and I'm a seasoned driver at this point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I think about that, professionally. Do I have any more questions from anybody? I don't see anything on Instagram. I switched over to my personal Instagram page on the live, just to kind of give them a little bit of information too. Missy Lane gave you the name of the song, and we didn't get the name of you looked it up, Wentworth. Well, we had Mercedes to tune in, who actually posted and commented. We had Marion Gray to tune in. Gerald Evans, who's an agent at my Keller Williams office. I appreciate his support and tuning in. Miss Elaine Hunter, she's all the way up in Michigan, but she wanted to tune in. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
My dad tuned in, Mercedes, and that is about it for everybody that commented. Of course, this will be, on the page. So if anybody has any questions for either myself or Kelly, just post it in the comment section, and it'll alert me or it'll alert her, and we'll answer your questions to the best of our ability. And I guess if all hearts and minds are clear, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate you getting on today so that we could just, have an open chat just about the real estate industry, and just how, we have to work together. It's times where we have went over numbers, like even though we're with different brokerages, we have listings in the same area. We got to see, what's going on, when we have properties. And that's the type of culture that I'm accustomed to. I grew up in, and I try to be, I try to set the example. I don't do the cattiness and, I'm gonna step on you so that I can look bigger. I don't do that. I won't do it because that's not the brand that I wish to build, or the way that I wish people to perceive me. But I do believe that, it's room out here for everybody. I mean, they're putting
Stop doing that.
it's so funny. But they're putting homes up everywhere, like on every corner, every little piece of land. They're putting a house or a building up. And I have had a little commercial real estate experience as well. I
Oh,
like,
good.
yeah, because
That I have yet to have.
yeah, it'll come. It's been like two, but I was grateful for that learning, because it's a learning experience.
I'm
But
sure.
all in all, it's just about working together. We can't, like, if Kelly has a seller and I have a buyer, we can't be adversarial. We got to work together to close the deal and make sure everybody get what they want. And so being
Absolutely.
nasty with each other and all of that, it's counterproductive.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just wanted to, and I chose her, one, because she's not with my brokerage. And so that was important to me when we had this conversation. She's not with my brokerage. And so just working with agents that are outside of that, you still have to treat them like family. I treat her just like I would treat somebody at Keller Williams. But my whole mantra and motto of that is, you do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So that's what precedes me. And I just wanted to put that out there. So I appreciate her taking the time, to get on, and, us just really talk about real estate, us just talk about life, and just kind of humanize what we do. We're here to serve. Like, this business is to serve. It's not, some people say it's all about the money. We are blessed to be able to earn an income by serving others.
That's it.
That, once that is understood, then that will help others kind of understand our business. We're serving you. We're serving our clients. Even if it's just giving out information, it's
Yeah.
still service. I'm big on the seminars and education because I believe knowledge is power. That's the education part of me. And I believe that you can make an informed decision if you have all the information that you need.
Yes. That's really big for me as well. And I'm glad you said that, because when you were saying that you went to school for education, I was thinking when you said, I didn't want to cut you off,
Mm-hmm.
but we educate every time we have a client. Every single time.
Consultation, education.
Yes,
Yes.
and ongoing, because I feel like we give them so much information in that consultation that they remember what they need to at the time, but then going through the process, we're still educating.
Yep.
And I was telling my mom yesterday when I was in the car headed somewhere, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know what? We have to educate, and we have to do. We have to. Darn, I lost my train of thought. I told. What did I tell my mom? Something about educating. Educating. I lost it. I hate when that happens. Oh my God.
And we also have to go through continuing education to stay abreast of what's going on. Things do change from year to year and time to time. So we have to stay educated too, to educate you guys.
Yeah.
Because I mean, things change, from when the market collapsed to now Corona. Those are two very different things that occurred, but we had to shift and make some changes. So with that comes education. Even, like, our contracts changed with COVID. We had to put special stipulations in there in the event that somebody gets sick, or something like that. So all of
And
that
even year to year, year to year, they change.
year to year, our forms change twice a year, and one in June or July. I think they changed in June and become effective in July, and then in January.
January.
So,
Yep.
we're constantly, getting information. We're going to class, just to stay abreast for our clients, and just, even knowing how to strategize and negotiate and all of that. That's something that, we do, for our clients. It's a service. And, I look at mine sometimes as a ministry. I've had people who have never owned a home before in their life, and they, were blessed with the opportunity to do that. And I'm grateful to be a vessel for that. Because, like I said, it's about purpose.
Yes.
So,
Those are the best opportunities. I
mhm.
love it. Especially when they come talking about they want to find a lease. I'm like, well, have we exhausted a purchase?
Mhm.
And when they get that pre-approval, they like,
I
me?
can buy a house. Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
ma'am.
You
That's
can.
right. That's right. And I just try to, let them know I believe in them. It's something that you can do, and if you want it, even if it's like not right now. I have some clients where it's like, well, you can't buy a house right now, but here's the plan. I have people who
Absolutely.
went on a year plan, who went on 3-month plans, who have went on 6-month plans, so that they could get back to, what it is that they needed to do in order to be able to succeed. And so I'm grateful for those are the moments that make me not quit.
Yes.
It's them, it's
Yes.
like our clients that help me not to quit. That's just
Yeah.
like, Trish, you got somebody depending on you,
Yeah.
for you to have this knowledge so that they don't give up. And so that's what keeps me going.
I can totally agree with that.
So I'm grateful for the business. I am grateful for it, but I'm grateful for my clients because, like I said, they keep me going. And even if it's, and we ran into some stuff, girl. Woo, we have ran into some things, but having the right people on your team, like I said I was gonna do, and I had like maybe 5 or 6 different lenders I was working with. I said, no,
Narrow it
doing
down.
two, two, two. That's
Yeah.
it. And that has really blessed me because I'm able to kind of take control and take the reins,
Yeah.
to propel my business forward. So,
And I'm glad you said that because I was thinking that I needed to grow that for me,
yes.
but that's honestly what I have right now. And
Mm-hmm.
that's working fine. So guess
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm gonna keep it right there.
It's vital for your business because, I don't want to say if it's not broke, don't fix it, but I took an analysis too based on, especially with the lenders, because, everybody comes to us and they want our business, right? They're just like, come on, I want to kind of get in your database. But I looked at things like who supports my business too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you start looking at that, and then how was the ease of the transaction? When I started getting feedback from my client about how they work, because some people would come in with the lender and
Yeah.
then would be like, I won't recommend them,
Yeah.
but one thing that I know I have to improve on, and we were just talking about this in Bold, is like online reviews. And so I used to have a platform, I don't know what happened, where you could go on and do reviews. And, when they started talking about the lender and just the ease of things during a transaction or the unease of things,
Yeah.
I started listening and I started looking at, what was happening, during a transaction. And I just made a decision. This year, I was just like, no, I'm dwindling it down so that I can make sure my business is running efficiently. And when I hear what the client needs, I know who to send them to.
Absolutely.
Know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, you need to go to this person, you need to go to that person.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so that has helped me tremendously too. And I think having a streamlined process, Keller Williams is all about systems and processes. And so developing that system and that process is like fluid.
Yeah.
But the longest time is maybe like looking for the actual home. And I had a buyer today who said they doctored these pictures up, and I laughed. I said, I told you we use photographers, so they do photo. I mean, some of them do, they Photoshop stuff and they make it look brighter and all that stuff. But, I'm very honest, with my clients about that. So I don't see any more questions in the comments. I don't see any more questions on Instagram. So I guess we will close out. Kelly, thank you so much for
Thank you for having me. This was awesome. I am honored that you thought enough to invite me.
absolutely.
Glad that and I'm glad that you're doing this. Like I said when we were talking, I haven't encountered any of the cattiness.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm prepared for it because I know that that happens in pretty much every arena, that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be in. Whether you're in corporate America or you have your own business or anytime you're dealing with people, it's going to happen. So,
It absolutely
um,
is.
but I'm prepared for it. I am, but I'm with you 100%. I totally agree. Like for a transaction to go from A to Z, we
Mm-hmm.
have to be on the same page. We have to
Mm-hmm.
be cooperative and communicative between one another, and I'm all for it.
Yes, and my belief is it's room for everybody. It's room at the top for
Absolutely.
everybody. Um, so I just, I'm a big fan of, women doing their thing and, us showing the world that, that we can do it. And just, doing it together, each one teach one. I have daughters, so I want them to have, good relationships and stuff with other women. And I do believe this room at the top for us all. It's a lot of business
Absolutely.
in Atlanta. So many people are moving here. I get out of state referrals, and I even try to build a network with, other realtors that are out of state, saying, hey, if you send a client here, I send you a client there, but if you want to send somebody to Atlanta, I'm your girl, but just building that rapport, with others to create that camaraderie, to, be bosses and to have a successful and effective business. So, I'm all for that. I wish you, the best in your endeavors. I call you, I text you, especially if we got listings that are close, or, we're working a certain stuff and, stuff like that, because it keeps, us on our toes, and just passing ideas. How did you do that? What did you do for that? That keeps us fresh with what we're doing. So
Absolutely.
give the boys a big hug for me. Tell them
I
they did
sure
an
will.
awesome job. I know it's hard having
We,
money.
we had a
My
we had a little
money.
rough patch. We had a rough patch, but we made it through.
That's okay, but that's life, and that's us, and that's moms. That's part of us balancing what we do.
That's it.
So give them a big hug, and you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, and best of luck to you. I know we will be in touch.
Yes, we will.
All
Well,
right. Have
have
a good one.
fun. Talk to you
Thank you
later.
again for having me.
You're welcome.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today to this podcast. If you have any questions, concerns, you can call and text me at 404-819-4495. My telephone number, again, you can call or text 404-819-4495, or you can email me at trishsalesatl, trish@trishsalesatl.com. It is TRISH at trishsalesatl.com. Also, follow me on social media. My social media handle is trishsalesatl.com, and that sales is SELLS. Trish, SELLSATL.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to your feedback. Remember, this podcast, it's also a video, but it is a podcast, and it is available on Apple. It is available on Alexa. We are also available on TuneIn, and we look to be available on other listening platforms. So again, thank you so much for tuning in, and everyone have a blessed day.